She coming. She coming. Beauty and the beat though. She coming. She coming. Beauty and the beat though. Radio, we're in here. I got my glasses on. I think I'm stunning right now. But sunglasses and stunning shades at night. I love that song though. And remember that song? What was it by? Yeah. Shout out to you. Anyway, what up? We're back. We're tuning in. We're another fabulous week going on. How was your week, Rob?
My weekend was good. Our week is good, and weekend was good. Happy Easter. Yeah.
It was Easter. Easter Bunny. Did you have an Easter Bunny hunt for the babies?
They went to across the street from where I live at. They had a festival, so they went over there.
That was cool. I watched what did I see this weekend? Black Girls Rock.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good. They on Regina King and Tracy Ellis Ross. They hosted it. It was good. Michelle Obama was on there.
I heard, and she was looking fly.
She was fly.
All white. Yeah.
All white. She always, her hair be fly, her wardrobe. She's the flyest first lady I know. I mean, you know, they all got their own fly in their own right. I mean, Jackie O. I mean, we can go way back, but she right now, fabulous fly. I'm going to take my glasses off. I was just feeling myself when I came on. I'm feeling myself. But anyway, it's just a lot of chitter chatter going on. Let's see, for pop-up stores, I saw Drake had a pop-up shop for his OVO line on Melrose at the Undefeated store on Melrose this week.
Okay.
So I think it lasts for like a couple of weeks, maybe even 30 days. They have like hats, caps, all kind of like
So what's a pop-up shop?
A pop-up shop is when a new designer decides to showcase his line, and instead of saying, oh, I'm going to have a store for a 12-month lease or forever, he decides to just see how it does and do it for like 1 month, 3 months, 2 months, 2 weeks, 1 day. You know, it just pops up, and then it pops away. But if it does good, then they'll probably either get into stores or they even have their own thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little chitter-chatter about Kylie Jenner. One of the Kardashian, well, she's a Jenner, not a Kardashian, was in the news this week because she had this really artistic photo where she had her hair was like glistening, her face was like glistening, and they were talking about that she was in blackface, and I thought it was artistic. Coming from like a styling background, I really thought it was cute. Did you see the photo?
No.
Why every time I ask you about a photo, you didn't see nothing?
Because I stay away from all that
chitter-chatter.
I'm more into the entertainment, but when it comes to that part of it, it passed me. I ain't got no time for that. That's your section. See, that's you rule.
I mean, I didn't really, it was so much chitter chatter about it, but I just saw it as like, I mean, she's just doing her. They did do a Snapchat video that I thought was a little disgusting. Like, they just do stuff. I think a lot of them, I don't even think they're thirsty for attention. I just think they just have a lot going on, and they post so much, and they have so many followers that they have so many opinions.
Right.
I really think that if you followed like the average 14, 17, 18-year-old around, they do stuff too, but they're just not posting it all day, every day to 5 million followers or 20 million or whatever.
See, they expect them. Followers expect you to post stuff because that's what they're looking for. So you have to step up to that game.
The sensationalism.
Yeah, there you go.
I got you. Well, another thing that I saw this weekend that was really, really funny is Jimmy Fallon has launched a new TV show on Spike. And it's called like Lip Sync Battles,
right.
hosted by LL Cool J.
Right.
It is so good. One of them that I got to catch, well, The Rock and him, I think they opened up the first one. I saw that. I didn't see it from the very beginning, but I think I saw who won and all that. But Common and John Legend did one against each other.
Okay.
They were so funny. If you didn't catch them, hashtag Lip Sync Battles, because I think they have like a cool Instagram going on.
Well, he got it from like his show.
Right. It's like a spinoff.
One of the ones I did see was was the guys from Get Hard.
Oh, Kevin Hart.
And what you call Will Ferrell. They did theirs with Jimmy Fallon. That was hilarious.
Did you catch that movie?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I did see,
Furious 7?
Yeah.
So what did you think of Furious 7? Because I was going to wrap it up. It made 143 million, 146 million.
Off the chain.
It was off the chain.
Even at the end, I kind of like, it was kind of foggy in there, so my eyes kind of like, get.
They teared up.
Yeah.
It was just because it was foggy.
Burnt. Yeah, and I think onions earlier I was cutting up for the weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the preceding Fast and Furious, I think that they had some international terrorist like stuff going on. I don't really know the plot because I can't honestly say that I've seen them all. But this year, I guess it kind of fed off of that energy.
Yeah, it continued on from there, from that, and part 2 was Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
Tokyo Drift kind of fits into the end. They put it number 2, but it's actually toward the end. It's between 5 and 6 and 7.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird. That's how the book was written, and so they just did it.
Well, they didn't want to kill the character Paul Walker off because it actually did happen in real life in 2013.
Yeah.
So they were very sensitive to that issue, and I think they spent almost an additional $40 million, if I'm correct, or something like that in the budget to really capture some of the digital effects, or maybe that was the digital budget. But I know that his brother came in and stepped in and finished some of his scenes.
Yeah.
So how was that? Was it could you really tell that he was missing from some of the scenes?
No, not at all, not at all. And then the way they ended it, I don't want to tell it, but the way they ended it, it was very, very it had a message. They didn't really say it, but the way they talked about it, you knew what had happened and how they ended it and how they parted ways. And it's that's what everybody was kind of tear-eyed because everybody knew that they got the message.
And then I think they have a really excellent soundtrack. I think it's released by Atlantic Records. They released 7 singles all at one time. I think Wiz Khalifa's was the big single at the end of the movie where See You Again. But then they have Ride Out from Kid Ink, YG, Tyga, and Rich Homie Quan. They have T.I. and Young Thug,
right.
7th Streeter, and all of them have some kind of association with Dodge. So, and Iggy Azalea made an appearance. Yeah. What was she doing in the movie?
She played in the scene when they were out in Coachella. They're doing this race thing in Coachella, and she pops up. Yeah.
Did she do good?
Yeah, it was a brief scene. She says what she said and walked away,
Okay. Did you hear her accent?
Nah, she spoke, mostly English. But who I was impressed with was the UFC fighter. The young lady that's the UFC fighter. She's the reigning champ right now.
Oh, yeah, I think she has a book coming out or something, right? She was in there the whole movie?
No, there's a fight scene.
Okay.
In Dubai.
Okay.
And
that's my next place I want to go. I'm heading to Dubai. I'm finding a reason to go to Dubai, and I'm going to be there.
A reason to go to Dubai. Dubai is like going to Fort Lauderdale or going, it's one of those places you got to go.
You've been?
Yes,
Did
several
you love
times. Oh, love it. You party. I think I party more outside the United States than I've had in the United States.
It's always fun to party because you have an excuse to say, hey, I did it there, and, whatever. You can leave what stays there, what goes there, whatever. So, I want to introduce my next guest. I'm really, really excited about having him. Oh, I didn't bring up the Ludacris released his album this week.
Yeah.
In addition to the Furious 7, which was really getting a lot of play. But Ludacris, and I heard you had it. It's good, huh?
Yeah,
I've heard some singles off of it. I like it.
I love it. I love the album because it shows on the album cover. It's a what you call the plane, the private jet, and right next to it is like an '88 a Civic or something like that.
That he had from before.
It goes showing he went from this to that.
I think it's an Acura Legend.
Acura Legend, but I'm saying it goes from you see the I
trench.
went from this to this,
right?
Because it looks like he gets off the plane, gets into that, but it's
And what's this? You know what? One more thing in music news, and then I'm gonna transition to my guest. Is what's this going on with Lil Wayne? It was like he had a lawsuit against Cash Money and Baby. Then he dropped it. Then it seemed like it picked up again. Now I heard that it's dropped again. He wants to release the Carter 5.
Right.
But then you have Rich Homie Con I think he released a picture of some artwork where he's peeing out Carter 6. I think that's so disrespectful. I'm trying to understand it and wonder, is this just publicity or what's going on? I gotta play into
back and forth because there's the Tyga and Chris Brown at the beginning of their video. He's taking a picture, and in the video, it shows a room and a toilet, and he's taking a picture of the toilet, right? And these things are falling on it. He's and in the background, there's a Drake album, way in the background, and he's shitting on niggas.
They funny. I guess it's a way. We following it. We're talking about it.
Yeah, that's what makes it relevant.
That's what makes it relevant. So my next guest that I have coming up, I'm really excited about. His name is Tony Royster Jr., he's a drummer. I always like when you're somewhere live and they say, get a drummer some. Well, I'm about to get a drummer some.
Right. Drummer solo.
Get a drummer some. So I got a video. We're going to bring him in. And can you go to that video for me? Because when we come back with Beauty and the Beat Radio, I'm going to have Tony up in here. So we're going to get a drummer some. You got And we're back, Beauty and the Beat Radio, and I promised you an exciting guest. We giving a drummer some. How you doing? This is Tony Roster Jr. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to Beauty and the Beat Radio. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. This is fun.
This is fun. How was your week this week? How was your Easter?
It was good. I was, low key. I didn't really do much. I stayed at the crib. And, I got a new dog, so.
What kind of dog you have?
An old English bulldog. Yeah, he's 4 months, so.
So that's still a baby,
new.
huh?
Yeah, baby. Yeah. He's a handful, but it's all good.
It's all good. So you live locally in Los Angeles?
Yeah, Studio City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So, I mean, I've known of you, but I'd never seen you in person until I probably have on stage and didn't know, like, oh, okay. But we saw you recently at the Hollywood and Highland at Shoe Palace, and you were doing your thing. I was I said, I need him on this show. I want to talk to him. I was really, really excited. So how did you, I've seen some videos of you where you've started, like, I think you started when you were 3 years old.
Yeah.
Like, they give you, like, that title, like, a prodigy. So, I mean, how did that start for you? Because I remember I gave my godson some drums just because he used to do this all the time. And I was like, let me give him something to do. And his mother was like, why? like why though? Like, you know what I mean? Like mad, but I mean, really, I feel like when you see someone, you want to inspire that talent. So how did you at 3 years old just kind of start playing drums or getting into any type of instruments?
Well, to make a long story short, which is a long story, but
okay.
No, my whole family is into music. My mother and father both play drums.
Oh, they both do?
Yeah.
Okay.
My father, he plays guitar as well. But at the time, my father had like a band. And I used to go to all of his rehearsals and stuff, you know, when I was younger.
Okay.
And so one day, he was at a rehearsal hall, and I was sleeping in his guitar case. That's how small I was, like literally like sleeping. That was my favorite place. It was comfortable. So I got up.
That could be considered child abuse if they closed it, right?
I mean, hey, listen, they could have now walked around like with it in his hand. I'd have been fine. It was good. But yeah, I got up. I went over to the drum set, and he told me like whenever they would be playing, I would be paying attention. Even when I was laying down, I would be paying attention. This music was embedded into my show. So I got up, went over to the set, and just started playing a beat, like keeping time. The first time I ever picked up a pair of sticks
on the
the set,
drums,
like
on the drums.
sitting
Okay.
on the drum. I could barely sit on the seat, but I was keeping time and everything. And he ran over to the set and he screamed. He said, "Yo!" to stop. And I was like, "All right." And he said, "Do that again." And so I was like, I started playing again, and it was history since then. I began to get better grasping drums at a very fast pace.
So, because there was a lot of musical instruments in your home,
yeah.
and you saw them on this.
Yeah.
So, what you said also that you were an Army brat, meaning that was your father in the Army as well?
Yeah. he
So
was in
you
the
moved
Army as well.
around a lot.
Yeah. I
But
was
drums
born in
were
Germany.
always still around.
Absolutely. Absolutely, my whole life. Whole life.
Okay, so how did you translate that, like playing into drums? How did it start for you career-wise? Because you obviously you learned organically and naturally. It wasn't something. Did you ever take any school studies for? Did you it was all you just learned it? It was
Yeah.
a habit that you learned and you progressed from there. So how did you know from that point? You've been good since 3. You've played instruments, you played solos. How did you go and say, I'm gonna take this to a professional career? Because you could have you went to school, you graduated from high school or whatever. You could have went this direction, that direction. You said, no, I want to play music, right? Is that where your first choice, your first love?
Yeah. I mean, of course, like when you're coming up in middle school and all that, like you have like your career days and everything, and you know, you always think about like what will make you the most money when you were younger. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. Whatever the case may be. And like, I always had an interest in, being a doctor or a physician or something of that in that field. But like, like I said, drumming took its place.
Okay.
Just coming up, my father used to put me in all different type of talent shows, and I was winning first place, like, in all of them. And he would play the guitar, and I would play the drums, just be me and him. And I used to win like shows all the time, and it was getting crazy because the more I entered, the more I won. So I won this national Guitar Center drum off that had like 5,000 to 6,000 drummers enter across the United States, and I won first place at 11. And then that's when I knew this
That was it.
Pretty much what I'm going to do. And so I started getting endorsements at the age of 12, and I did this major...
What were some of the endorsements? Like, what kind of... Because, I mean, you're 11 years old, and they're like, I want to sponsor this kid. Was it monetary? Was it, like... Did you get a lot of equipment?
Yeah, equipment endorsements.
Okay.
Because at that age and coming up, if you can get things for free, good equipment at that,
Yeah.
why not? So my father put me in all the right places, and
Was he still in a band at that time?
no, not necessarily. I mean, he was playing with musicians here and there, but he wasn't in no band that was touring or anything like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, basically, I did this drum solo at the age of 12 for the Mono Drummer Festival, and that was really like took my
What
career
launched?
to a whole nother level. Yeah.
Okay. So that you did that, you've won all these sponsorships, you're working with the best equipment, you're learning equipment, you're learning about, like, new technologies in the industry, because I guess it's a lot of things that can go along. I don't know what every equipment is called,
Right.
but I mean, I've seen, like, some things is just like maybe 5 or 6 drum sets, but then it could get real intricate. It's a lot of things
Yeah.
that go along with it. So you're winning all this equipment. What are some of the projects, once it launched you, what projects what was one of your major things that you're like, wait, this is major? Because you won some major won some major prizes. I mean, like, but what launched you? What was your first thing that you did that you were like, wow, this is major?
When I was 15.
Okay.
Okay, so this is after I've been, playing at different like little talent shows, and I went to this thing called the NAMM show, which is
In Las Vegas?
Los Angeles, out here in Anaheim.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it's the NAMM show, National Association of Music Merchants, and like everyone of anything that deals with music, technology, they all go there, and that's where people go. So hopefully they can get noticed, get seen, so they can get endorsements, so they can be noticed, so they can get gigs. Like, that's the one-stop shop for everything.
Okay.
So when I went there, I met like some of my influences, like drummers that I really looked up to. Just people begin to see me. So I kept playing, getting more endorsements, and then at the age of 15, after they saw my drum solo and stuff like that, I was asked to be on the Grammy Awards, and I played with a group of other talented kids, like prodigy kids.
Okay.
And we did like this little segment. Usually it's like somebody comes and does a speech or something there during this, but they switched it up and had a band. We played, and then at the end of the show, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis came up to me at the end of the show and came
You're
talk
15,
to me.
right?
I'm 15,
okay.
yeah. Came up, he was like, you did a fantastic job, you know, blase, blase. And he was like, how do you feel about My Father Was With Me? How do you feel about doing a tour, right? I was like, with who? And he was like, we'll get into that. Like, if you're available, we'd like you to tour for the whole summer. I was like, okay, great. So they contacted my father, and before you know it, I did a 3-month tour in Japan.
At 15 years old?
At 15 with this Japanese artist named Hikaru Utada, and she was like the biggest Japanese artist like at the time, like crazy. We did arenas, sold out arenas, like arenas at 15.
What you spend your first check on?
I just know that
PlayStation.
It was
Because I mean, you're 15, but I mean, you know, you didn't do a 3-month tour for free. So I mean, like,
it was good. It was good because we got. They paid my father and they paid me. They paid my father to be my chaperone and being over there, and then they paid me too. So we brought it both in the house. I mean, we brought little things for the crib, which was good. You know what I'm saying?
You had fun. You had a good summer.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
So what do you do to get in your zone, like, before? Is there like a process that you go through that you say, okay, I'm about to get ready? What do you do? Like, do you listen to music? Are you inspired by other like solo artists, or is it music that inspires you? What do you do to get ready for a set?
Man, it really depends on what setting I'm in. Like, for example, if I'm by myself, I just like to laugh, really, just to have like joke, play around, like not even have my mind even on that to a certain degree, you know. Like when I'm on tour with Jay, like the whole band, we're pretty much around the same age, and we all have a good time. So maybe we have a couple of drinks or something like that, and just joke around, laugh, play.
So you can get comfortable. Like,
you know what
relax.
I'm saying? And I mean, it's all about chemistry too. But like when I'm by myself, sometimes I listen to songs or music that I really enjoy that'll either turn me up or it really depends on just the mood at that time. But
so you mentioned Jay, and I wanted to get into that because when we introduced you, we played a scene from you being on tour with Jay-Z. I know you've done like. You've worked with him for almost probably 7-8 years now at this point, and you were on the Run tour as well. So how did that come about? Because we named one big project. You're on tour in Japan. That's 15. Now bring that up. You're not that old yet, still. So I mean, how did that come about? Working with Jay-Z, that's a big iconic artist as well.
Yeah, it's everything. My whole career has basically been, besides just being seen on the internet and YouTube, it's like word of mouth. So. A good friend of mine by the name of his name is Nissan Stewart, and he's a drummer / producer, but he was big working with Diddy and Aaliyah and Timberland and all of these people early. Like early. So he's a very important individual in the industry and a great person to know. But anyway, so I'm doing my own master classes and seminars in Poland. Like overseas, like doing my own stuff.
So you're teaching there?
I'm teaching, and I'm doing like full on like seminars, like I'm just concerts low key. By myself.
Wow.
For crowds of 2,000-3,000 people, just drummers. And so basically, I get a call from him. He's like, "Yo, Tony, where you at?" I said, "I'm in Poland." He's like, "What?" He's like, "When you get back?" I said, "Like 2 days, day and a half, 2 days." He was like, "Man, I wish you was here because Jay is having an audition." I said, "Jay who?" He said, Jay-Z. I said, "What?" He's putting together a band. And at the time, The Roots was his band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so The Roots was his band, and Jay wanted to put together his own band.
Okay.
Of like younger guys and vibrant or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was kind of upset because I didn't want to miss that opportunity. So I was like, I'll be back in a couple of days. Oh, we're having auditions, and you know the last day is tomorrow, or the day after, however he had told me. So I was like, damn. So, anyways, I'm getting on my flight. You know, I get to the airport to catch my connection to go home, and I get a call from him again, like crazy, like timing was nuts. And I had my bags. I was getting ready to put it on the belt, and next thing you know, he says, "Yo, where are you at?" I said, "I'm getting ready to get a connection flight to go home." He was like, "Wait, don't go anywhere." So basically, the other drummer that he had other commitments that he had to attend to during the middle of the tour, and they didn't want that. They wanted somebody who could do the whole tour. So, you know, they were going to extend it like another day and a half. I was like, what? So he's like, don't get on the plane, don't do nothing. He hung up the phone. I was like, I'm gonna miss my flight so I'm waiting. I was like, no, I have to go. So I tried to call him back. He didn't answer. So I gave the lady my bags. And then here he goes calling. So I grabbed the bags back from her. And he was like, go down to Delta and get on this flight. So he bought me a ticket right there. I went straight to New York. And we had to learn like, I want to say like 19 songs or something like that in like a matter of a couple hours.
No way.
Yeah.
Like, a couple of hours.
A couple hours. Like literally. Like we had to run through a lot of songs, like 19, 20 songs. It was kind of easy to a certain degree because we, like most of the musicians in there, listen to Jay stuff.
Right.
But it was a little different for me because the other band members already been playing. Like I had to come in late, like because you know they were gonna use another drummer, right? So I did it. Jay came in, and he only listened to like 2 songs, if that. And he looked at everybody. He was like, "Pretty good." And just walked out. I was like, what?
I've always
After
heard
all
that
of
he's a man of few words.
Oh my gosh. And it was so hilarious. And then we didn't know like if we killed it, we didn't know anything. And then when his right hand man came up to us and he was in the room, he was like, just know y'all did amazing. Y'all killed it. And before you know it, we was doing the American Gangster
oh yeah.
AOL storytellers. And then after that it was history. I was just doing everything with it.
You were doing everything,
Yeah.
and that went from 1 year to 7 years to 9.
Crazy, doing everything. Inauguration, World Series.
Oh, with the Obama's inauguration, you did that. How was that? That was in D.C.
That was crazy.
So what did you perform there? What was the song?
What was that song? What was that song?
You've done so many songs. You're like
so many songs with Jay. Hold on. I think Jeezy and him did a song together. Wait. You gonna find it?
My president?
My president.
Okay, yeah. My president is black. My like
No, wait.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I love that. I think that when you have a really, like, a real band with rap music, it's so great. Like, so hear what you're doing. I mean, and for you to have done it so naturally, I think it's just a natural collaboration. But I think it's something so great for hip-hop just to hear real live music, because so many things are synthesized and put together in the way that we hear music nowadays. It's so compressed that you really, unless you really know about music or production and know how it's put together, you kind of don't know that the quality of the music has been diminished. So you being a musician, do you listen to a lot of live music, or what other artists, what type of music inspires you other than rap music? Or does it, I mean, what do you listen to? Because I know you listen to a wide range of music.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything from Latin music, Tito Puente, I mean, Selena, everything. Listen to rock, Foo Fighters, you know, I used to be in a rock band back in the day. Like, all styles of music really like pretty much inspired me. So, you know, and that's another big way, and which was a plus for me, just coming up in my drumming career, to not really have any limits.
Right.
You know, to be able to play all styles of music and not be scared to take on that challenge when somebody calls you that's
that needs you right away. So what are some of the challenges of working with such a big artist or going on tour for 3, 4, 5 months and stuff? What are some of those challenges? Because that was like a lot going on. It's like some people would be like, I gotta go home. Like, I mean, you could have had a wife and kids at home. I don't know if like what your family life is like, but I mean, you literally just changed programs, went there, and then had to go on tour like within a week or so, right?
Yeah.
So how challenging is it to be on the road?
It's not really challenging when you know those checks is getting ready to come into your account. So you're gonna do whatever you have to do. But
right.
I mean, first of all, being able to play with such an iconic artist, like you're not gonna give up that opportunity, because
right.
you have no idea how that can change your life.
Right.
And you know, depending on what you're doing right then and there, I'm sure you can definitely, unless you're already involved in something that was multi-million-dollar, like changing for your whole entire life, then maybe you'll reconsider. But nah, I'm changing that. I'm making sure things at home is straight. But that's just something that you just have to do.
That's part of the work. That's just part of the work. That's part of the
signed
job.
up for.
That's what you signed up for. So I know you have your influence. One of your mentor was Dennis Chambers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, how did that come about? You just start listening to him, and then did he become a mentor, or in some ways, or how did that happen?
Yeah, my father. I mean, like I said, he was installing music into my brain and into my soul, and he just basically just told me who he basically told me I just need to know who came before me, and who set that path for you all the way back to drummers such as Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa. These are older drummers who were nothing short of amazing. But you know, he bought little video cassette tapes for me
to watch
and just just to let me know who was out there. And one of the main drummers was Dennis Chambers, who I was really enjoyed his style, his precision, his speed, also just his feel in general. He was just one of the greatest and still is, you know.
What are some of the tricks you could do with drums? I mean, because it's so many. Like because I mean, you're good. Like I'm like, wow, like how do you do all that? It's not just hitting. It's a lot that can be involved, and you're excellent at what you do. Like, I mean, you're known for being excellent. So what are some of the tricks like that you do? Like, well, what would you do to inspire people that are getting into drummers to like learn and be different?
I mean, as far as tricks is concerned, I mean, you can do many. People come up with stuff every day, spinning, twirling, throwing, whatever, setting things on fire. It doesn't matter, but
just practice.
Practice,
Okay.
you know. But nowadays music has changed, and like before, doing tricks and all that was cool. That was important. Really, depending on what situation you're involved in. If like your group that you're in, if showmanship and all that is a part of it, then yeah, by all means. But really, it's about you playing the music. You playing the music and making sure you sound good and you feel good when you play, you know, because that's what's going to keep you working. If you're not in like your own band, if you're playing for an artist, it's about keeping your job.
It's about what they want.
Exactly.
What they want and what
So
that idea of
they
it.
can give two about tricks. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like, don't be doing all that messing up my beat,
Hey,
like, and
straight
throwing
up.
them off. Like,
Straight
they be
up.
looking at you like. So one of the things, like, we brought up the Roots, and you're saying, and the Roots have transitioned. They work with Jay-Z. And now they're on the Jimmy Fallon show, and they're the house band for that. And they do excellent, and I love to see them kind of collaborate with artists as they come on. You've also been on the Letterman show, right?
Yes.
I want to show our audience that, just to show how, because I want them to get a feel for how talented you are. So I got a little video of it. So we're going to go into that right quick. You got that for me, right?
You go. And tonight, he's first out of the blocks for our second drum solo week. One of the greats, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Royster Jr. my God.
I like saying that. I don't know why, but I love it. That was excellent. So we were talking in here because we see all the various equipment, and like I was saying, like drums are not just like one type of drum set. What type of equipment and what type of drums do you use, and what are like? Because I saw buttons that you can push. I saw cymbals that you like. What is it to a drum set? Like what does that all encompass?
I mean, for very basic, it's just the drums, the cymbals. If you want to incorporate like electronics, you can.
And the electronics do what for your sound?
I mean, it just adds electronic sound. Like, for example, I have like a SPSX pad that you saw like
that's
on
what I was
the
looking
left.
at. Okay.
So that has like different pads that you can, install like your own sound. So it can be like a clap. Or
like how an MPC,
yeah.
Okay.
Like so you can put a clap here, you can put like an 808 sound here, you can put pretty much anything that you want.
Wow.
So like you can even put like a song or something, you can like sample your own song
kind of loop
and
it
then
into your
play it.
music.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you can do all kinds of things with the pad, but but that's basically it, just the drums. I play Drum Workshop DW, drums, Sabian cymbals, and then Roland is the electronic company that I endorse.
That's what I was wanting to know. So what are some of so those were the Roland, the Sabian, and
Octopad.
Octopad is part of Roland.
Okay.
Part of Roland, but Drum Workshop, Sabian is the cymbals. Then I have my own signature series drumsticks.
Oh wow! So you've created your own drumsticks?
Yeah, I mean basically just put the size that I like, and then put my signature on there.
Do you ever break them?
Absolutely. I've been in the gym a little bit. You know what I'm saying? No,
You're not a drummer until you break your sticks. You ain't drumming.
You gotta break a few sticks and let them know you're doing something.
Right, and I saw a GoPro video too. So do you video a lot for your own use? Because I mean, it's a lot of video out there of you. If we just Google your name, it's Tony Roster Jr. I mean, you have a lot of video out there, and I mean, you've been doing this for a while. So do you kind of video it yourself? Does GoPro work with you in a sense?
Yeah. So I just recently got this GoPro situation going. My manager Chris Hooks, shout out to him.
Okay. Hey, Chris Hooks. Was he with Noontime?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm thinking of somebody else. No, it's a record label called and the name sounds familiar to me. Yeah, but I don't know. It's out of Atlanta.
Oh, no.
No. Okay. But it was a while back. It doesn't.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So, yeah, I just recently got this. So first of all, just for everyone who knows, and I appreciate all my fans and anyone who supports me, but like every video that's on YouTube of me, I haven't put up one.
Oh wow, that's just someone really
that's
admiring your talent.
That put up either whether it's the company who filmed it or just somebody who recorded themselves or whatever. But I have never put up one video myself on YouTube. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and start my own YouTube channel and really. But I think I have one. I think my manager and some people did it at one point. I'm really never on there. But I'm really about to get more involved with that. But the GoPro came about by my manager, talking to the company and then them having a music section within the company. So, it was nice for them to think that I could possibly be the face or somebody that's involved heavily in that part of the program. So
yeah, because you're teaching, you have classes. So, do you still have classes that you teach and
not as much, just because my schedule is so hectic. I mean, at one point I'm chilling right now because obviously Jay is doing the title thing right now, and he's working on. I'm sure he's working on a project with B right now and some other things. So. He's not on tour, so I have the downtime to really do anything that I need to do, which is basically right now focusing on branding myself more so than anything.
Right. So I saw you had a feature in Dub Magazine. Ooh. So you're a car enthusiast.
Yes.
Yes. What are some of your other hobbies on this downtime? I mean, because I know you love music. I know that anytime you probably get to play music, you do. But what are some of your other hobbies that you do when it's downtime for you?
Okay, well, of course, cars is something I really enjoy. I've always loved cars. Bowling. I'm a fantastic bowler. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Like anybody that wants to go, we can go.
Okay, so we might have to challenge that. You hear that? We might have to have a bowl off or something. You heard him. He said, I'm fantastic.
No, I mean, it's just something that really makes me happy. I just enjoy it. Okay. Because I'm a very competitive person. So all sports, I play all sports. Okay. Ping pong, anything. Like, I'm really, anything that I put my mind to that I want to do, I was somewhat of like an all-American.
Oh. He said that with confidence. Like, I got this locked down.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah, but movies, skating, anything that's fun. I'm a very spontaneous person, so anything that I just feel like I would have a good time. Six Flags rides, just anything under the sun that seems like it's fun, I'll do. Besides something that will put me in super danger, like going out into the ocean and getting stung by something crazy or anything.
You can swim?
I absolutely can swim. Yeah. Don't ever get it twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't swim.
You can't swim?
No.
We can teach you. We can teach you. It's never too late to learn.
I think that if you didn't start learning early, I think that the fear factor is really big. But I will say that it's probably never too late. But
It's
I do
never too
think
late.
that
I can teach you. I'm a dive master, so I can teach.
Okay, well, if
teach
I have
anybody.
both of you
A
to
dive
around,
master.
I'm a
what?
dive master. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I think I might feel comfortable around the ocean with you too. But we have to,
Yeah, we can start in a pool though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
where you start
4
at. That's where
feet,
you start
5
at.
feet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
something that
saying?
don't go above. You know, you be like, if I fall back, it's cool. Y'all got me.
it.
You
Yeah,
got me.
okay.
Okay, so we mentioned the Tidal thing, and streaming music is big right now. And I know you've done a couple of inspirational CDs. Maybe you've put together a collection of your drumming. Have you done that? What's next for you musically? Are you working with a band? Are you trying to put out another album? Are you even signed? Like, I know you work as an independent drummer or musician or with art, but are you signed to a label in some kind of sort or something? No.
Extremely independent.
You're extremely independent.
As a
Okay.
dollar bill.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just.
What's next?
I just think it's really great. At this point that I really haven't done anything, just because all the way up until now, when I do get ready to put something out,
Okay.
people will really want to get it because they haven't heard a lot from me,
Right.
much from me lately, just
Right.
because I've been on the road a lot and doing a lot of touring.
Okay.
But like I said, within the branding, I'm currently working on my album, which is all over the place in my head. Like I know what I want to do, but it's just making sure it's laid out properly so
And
I can have the
executed.
best because I'm not going to put out something that I don't feel like I'm completely 150% content with it. Like
Okay.
I want to make sure it's the best thing that I can possibly, because I'm a perfectionist.
Okay.
So
He's competitive and a perfectionist.
yeah, I mean yeah.
And good at everything that he does. I'm just quoting you.
You gotta have that confidence, but I'm humble though.
I know, I
Like,
get that. I
extremely
get it.
humble. Like, I'm humble. But yeah. So working on the album, I'm getting into acting as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's something that I've always liked to do, be in front of the camera.
Have you had any roles yet? Commercials? What are you starting with?
When I was younger, I
Okay.
did a few things. I did a few commercials with Nickelodeon back in the day. I've
Okay.
done some little short films on. You're not even gonna find that on the internet.
Okay.
Don't you?
Wait a minute, you don't know. We good,
I
though.
know you're good, so I'm not even gonna mention it. But I've done a couple of little roles here and there.
You got anything else we could show, Rock? Because you
Nah,
know you
you
good.
good.
Can't pull
We got
over
the
here.
okay. Mhm.
Nah, don't you even do that.
Don't
So-
do we
No,
not
but
gonna do.
I'm into it. Just to start in a platform of hosting and commercials. That's what I want to start, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And then I have some other projects I can't really talk about just because the actual company doesn't want me to mention it. But within the next month or so, you should definitely see
Some things.
Some things. It's probably that's on a very very large scale. I think
Okay.
it can really make an impact. I just want to say make an impact on the dancing and the music together.
So what? So you can't talk about that particular project, but do you have any other collaborative efforts that you have been working on that we don't quite know about yet, other than say the touring that you've been doing that you're working on that you could speak about?
Just more
Being
so
in the
just,
studio.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm really. I'm a producer as well.
Oh, okay.
So I make music. So that's been something I've really been focusing on and really polishing, my craft as far as production is concerned.
Okay.
Because that's something that I do love to do as well. And you can't. A producer, just like anything that you do, you have to put 150% into it. You have to be committed.
Right.
And that's the only way you're going to really be successful with anything that you do.
Okay.
So with that being said, being on the road is kind of hard to try to commit to production and during the touring, and you can't do that. So now that I'm off tour, I've been off tour for a little while, I've been able to really hone in on my production. So
Okay.
that's very important to me. So now that I have my beats and have all my music together,
Okay.
and every day I'm still adding to the collection, still adding. But now I'm going to start trying to collaborate with artists that I know and people that I know. I've played with a lot of people in the industry, so more so just getting writers to come and write on different things. You know, just starting to push my beats out there.
What is the feedback when you play it for people and they listening?
Yeah, they like it. They love it. They want more
look at this confidence. It's like, what do you say? It's me.
No.
It's Tony, right?
I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm not gonna lie. So at first, because being a drummer is different when musicians try to make beats, it doesn't come across the same. Like if that was the case, then every musician would be a successful producer,
right?
Which is not the case. You know?
There's rare.
Oh my gosh,
Kanye is good at that.
There's some producers that are horrible at being a musician,
right? I get it,
but know how to make songs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to do. Like my beats at the very beginning were not that.
Right.
weren't good, and I knew that, which is great. But you know, from there and just staying consistent and learning and not being scared to be critiqued by people who you do look up to and people who
you respect their opinions.
Exactly. And I've learned, so I've gotten a lot better. Even like my close friends who I respect their opinions, and like this friend of mine, he's my best friend. His name is Brandon. His artist name is Plan B, but he's about to do some major things, and I just did a song with him called 100 and produced it, and like he's been getting beats from everybody, so for him to actually take one of my beats and really do it, and like it's out like now floating, it's a great thing. You should have brought
it so we could have heard it.
I know, I'm tripping.
You tripped.
I'm bugging. Maybe it's on there. I don't know. Maybe it's on
Plan B.
Hold on. I don't know if it's on there or not.
What are you looking for?
This track is
100.
100. Maybe I'll find it, but yeah, I'll probably give him to.
So you mentioned you're doing some acting, Plan B, 100. But you mentioned you're doing some acting, some modeling. What are you modeling? Was it clothing line? Are you have an interest in fashion?
Absolutely. Like I've always liked to do that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, listen, I'm one of those dudes that just like to be involved in everything.
Okay.
You know, anything I can get my hands into, I'm going to do it, because you never know what can really take off. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so modeling is just something I
was offered by your connections and seeds you planted, and you're not Negro.
So,
what's funny? What you laughing at?
Yeah, so I do like some lookbooks here and there of you know, like I said, with the acting, commercials, and hosting, that's all going to play a part as well. So.
It's all a part of completing your brand and extending your brand and bringing your brand to the forefront, so everyone knows who Tony is. I got you. So the end goal, I guess, you're working on projects with production. You're working on your own projects. You're incorporating being a mentor or teacher in some sort. Do you have your own band too, you said?
I have a group of friends that I put together from time to time to play at the spot that I think I've
Sayers Club?
Yes.
Okay, so that's that was another thing. Where can we catch you live sometime? Is that Sayers Club on Friday?
I can't really tell you because there's some people I don't really want to come. No, I'm just joking. You're
not invited. Like, no, they got guest lists for stuff like that. Like, I'll take no.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
Fridays, yeah. I play every other Friday.
Okay.
There's other bands and musicians that come, so they kind of like split it up so people could look forward to like me coming back, in a couple of days as opposed to every Friday. But,
okay.
Yeah, it's a dope situation, a dope spot.
It's intimate.
Very much so.
Okay.
And it's the perfect combination of adding live instrumentation into a club night per se. So it's not necessarily about how many bottles somebody can buy.
Right.
And like just stunting and all of that. It's like you're gonna get your drinks, but at the same time you're gonna get your music that you can dance
live
to, turn
music.
up, and then get your live music and then go right back to dancing. And I like that crowd anyway, because that crowd is a better crowd for people to just talk and socialize with one another, because like it's not like a big club to where everybody's trying to look good.
Right.
Like, there's women and men, whatever, that look good inside the club.
Right.
And they're doing their thing. You feel me?
But it's not that big, oversized, where it's like 1,000 people in the club trying to push you around or whatever. You could actually hear the music, look at who's playing it, enjoy yourself, hear yourself talk sometime, and hear the music.
Yeah,
I
and
get
you
it.
can eat there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, have a good
I
menu.
like that. We go Sayers Club. That's right there on Wilcox and Hollywood.
Yeah, right around the corner from Playhouse.
Okay.
The dude's about to send me this song too, so maybe we can play it.
Maybe. So, I guess I can't say what's next for you, because it's like whatever comes up, you got it. You got it. But what advice can you give people? Because I won't say that everything came easy for you, but it did come naturally because it was something that was organically that you've been doing pretty much since a child. But what advice can you give people that are really chasing a dream in music, or particularly in instruments and drumming and being a part of a band? Maybe not so much being a solo artist, but just being a part of a band. You know, what can you give? What advice can you give?
Well, first of all, just like anything, whatever you do, make sure you want to do it just because it makes you happy. Like, you're not in it for the money. Like, that's the main thing. I'm sure people have heard that time and time again, but it's very important because once that becomes the focus point, obviously money is something that will help motivate you to do it. I mean, just like anything, but don't make it to where if I don't do this by next week and I can't pay my rent, then I'm just going to do it. Like, you know, it's not going to happen like that. So make sure you want to do it.
Okay.
And then for like musicians in general, like to have a good attitude.
Okay.
Like, not to be scared of criticism, but at the same time, don't let people walk over on you. You know, like walk on you. That's not a good thing.
Like understand your craft.
Exactly.
Like kind of know it, but understand too. I guess part of it is when you are working with or for someone, there's things that they just probably want specifically from you that it's really not about you. Even though it's about your craft, it's not about you. So is that part of it too? It's just listening to what someone else wants.
Listening to it, but also bringing like your own vibe to the situation. Like, you know. And I always like to use Jay-Z. I mean, I play with a lot of different artists, but I like to use Jay-Z as an example. Because for the first, like, year and a half, 2 years, like, we never really had, like, an amazing relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the type of individual that you have to grow on him. He's not going to just come out like, yo, what up? Like, he's not even, he's like, to himself, but he's very witty. Like, he's funny. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, even
like, was that a joke?
Yeah, even if he says a few words, like, it's funny.
Right.
But you're listening. And even to this day, like, when I talk to him, it's like I'm listening because, like, he's a genius. Like, he has a lot of words of wisdom. So, like,
I think we'll be seeing you maybe have a little launch or something on Tidal.
Hey, baby,
I can see that. Is it Tidal? Listen to me like Tidal, but is it Tidal?
Tidal, yeah.
Okay, listen to me. Like Tidal. I'm thinking of Ice Cube or something. I went left on West Side, but I get, you know what I meant, right?
Yeah,
okay, cool. But I mean, I could see that happening because that's the whole that's what that's about. Is these, you know, I heard him and B were launching something maybe this week, right?
Yeah, first of all, I had no idea what was going on at first. I just saw this blue signs is coming up everywhere, and you know, I've been doing my own thing. And Jay is always into something. If it's not dealing with sports, it's dealing with something. People don't even know how much stuff he owns or what he's into. Right. So now that you have Diddy that's doing everything and everything under the sun, Revolt and Ciroc and his tequila and everything, so you know, that's motivation for everyone else in the industry that's on his level
to build their empire and be moguls. So, I love it.
You know, so that's why Jay, next thing you know, he comes out with this thing, and I'm like, wait, what?
Overnight.
And I'm looking out, I'm sitting on my couch and I'm looking on TV and I see this commercial with everybody that's somebody on the stage. And I'm like, and I see Jay there. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, but I didn't know it was his thing. You know what I'm saying? I see him up there, him and B next to him, and I was like, this is incredible. Whatever. I said, is something happening in the world that I need to know about? Like, am I lost? But yeah, this is crazy for him to actually do that. And now that I found out he bought it for like 50-something million, and now it's worth 250 million. Wow. In 1 month. Like a month and some change, however long it's been out, it's worth like 250 now. So he knows exactly what he's doing.
What the monetizing goals were.
And now that him and B is you know, he's so smart because now him and B is doing this project, whatever.
They can kind of release their own music.
Exactly, on there, and it's gonna murder the situation.
Right. How is it working with Beyonce? We keep hearing Jay-Z, but you were on the Run tour, so that's a collaborative effort. How was it working with Beyonce?
Yeah, well, I've played with her a few times. I mean, of course, her being a guest with Jay on several shows that we've done throughout my career playing with him. But Beyonce, she's nothing short of amazing. She's a ball of joy. And, it's I don't know. She's just a woman from Texas that has her own swag about her. And then you think about it, like you listen to her music coming up, Destiny's Child and everything, and then you actually see her and having the opportunity to play with her. You know, it's just it's an amazing situation. And have both of them together and seeing what they can come up with, and like their energy, and it's just amazing.
I think they're a wonderful couple to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And
House
then
Blue
daughter,
Ivy.
oh
I was about to say House Blue Ivy. I was like, oh.
Their daughter is one of the smartest
I can see
kids
that.
I've ever run into. Like, has like Beyonce's sassiness or whatever, but then Jay's wittiness. Like it's like a combination. Like one time she's running up the hall. I remember we was on tour and she trips and falls, and she says, "Ouch!" Right? And we're like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Who hurt you?" And she was like, she looked at me. She said, "No one hurt me. I hurt myself." Like just like that. She's like, "But I'll be fine." Like talking to me like that. I was like, "Excuse me."
Okay.
Very, very smart little girl, but yeah, they're a great family.
They're
sure.
a great family. Oh, Tony, well, I enjoy working with you. It's almost time to, working with y'all. Like we gonna play. I want to learn how to hit a drum or two. I want to learn. Can I play with you one day?
Right now, of course, we can make that happen.
We can make that happen. I want to.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm so inspired by music. I don't do music, but I would just love to see what happens.
Yeah. Oh,
Did that sound good?
I don't know what that sounded like, but listen, we can't.
Okay, wait a minute.
Let me.
Oh God.
I don't want to embarrass. Don't do it, huh? Look, wait till we have a private session.
What's that? Like I can get you set. Oh. Oh. That. You drop.
How was it?
It was different. But
Okay.
Listen, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna make sure you prepare for the next show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was just playing with y'all.
Yeah.
Because I'm a real competitive person, and I'm not going to let them do better than me. So, what you know about that, next time I come back, I'm going to have some of your drumsticks.
Boom.
And we're going to do that on them Sabian cymbals,
Ah.
on them rolling things, and
Right.
we're going to get that popping, and we're going to have it all on GoPro. There it is there. So, we know that we can try to catch you on Sayers Club. We'll see if you get invited. But how can we get in touch with you? You have a Twitter, Instagram, or something that we can, like, follow you on or something?
Yeah, Instagram, the Dr. Royster, TheDrRoyster.
Okay.
And I haven't even been on my Twitter in a long time. I think it's the same thing.
Okay.
The Dr. Royster. Yeah.
Okay. Follow him, catch him.
Yeah.
Catch him if you can. We enjoyed you. Next time, we got to have you back so we can show my solo. You know what I'm saying? We got to go. But I definitely would love to come out and see. I'll definitely be at the Sayers Club. I want to
Cool.
I totally enjoyed hearing you play live.
And
And
make sure you put you on the list and make sure you're good.
I'm good. I'm
Anybody
good.
you're with.
I'm good. You heard that? I'm good.
Yeah.
So we're going to look out for everything you have coming up.
Thank you.
And we're going to go out with some music. And I enjoyed you. And y'all look out for Tony. And y'all look out for Beauty and the Beat Radio. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.